Welcome to the Home Nursing Agency Foundation Lights of Love virtual tree lighting ceremony. Lights of Love is an opportunity for us to honor and remember loved ones during the holiday season. We want to offer a special thank you to our guiding light sponsor, UPMC Altoona and UPMC Health Plan. All donations to Lights of Love support family hospice and grief services for children, families, and adults. I would first like to welcome Jennifer Cox, Family Hospice Bereavement Coordinator.
Most of the families I talk to, there is one common theme, that is that the holiday season is extremely difficult. During the holidays, that's a time that most people are feeling celebratory. They're shopping, they're baking, they're wrapping, they're doing all these things. When you've lost your loved one, you don't have that energy and desire to celebrate. You don't feel like you want to get involved in the holidays. They don't mean the same thing. But some tips I would give you to survive the holidays, because you can survive them. Number one, I would talk with your family, plan ahead. This might require some compromise because family members might have a different idea of how you should survive the holidays, and that might not work for you. So my first tip would be to talk with your family and communicate and plan ahead. It is okay to change some of your traditions. You might get some comfort in keeping some of your traditions, or you decide it's too painful and you might want to change some things up, and there's no right or wrong with that. I would recommend that you scale back. Maybe we don't do as much shopping or make as many cookies. We just save our energy, get some rest. Maybe you decline some invitations if you need to. I like the phrase, do what you can, no more, no less. You could light a candle for your loved one. Some families have put a photo of their loved one at the dinner table at their place to include them in the celebration. Maybe you could make their favorite dish or dessert. You also could make a wreath or an ornament with some of your loved one's favorite things. I would really encourage a support group, and I know during the pandemic that could be a struggle, but I know there are virtual groups available. Lastly, something that could start you towards your healing, you could volunteer your time or give a donation in your loved one's name, perhaps an organization that was important to your loved one. You can make a donation any way that's meaningful to you or to your loved one. If you would consider making a donation to Lights of Love, stay tuned for more details. If you'd like to consider volunteering with Family Hospice or the Healing Patch, take a look at our website. And I wish you continued healing and comfort over this holiday season.
Supporting Lights of Love, as Jen mentioned, is a powerful way to both remember a loved one and make a difference for future hospice patients and their families. Chris Watts is the Senior Manager of Family Hospice Clinical Operations and will share how donations to Lights of Love and the Home Nursing Agency Foundation impact local patients and families.
The foundation gives us those dollars to be able to provide things such as families, patients that have COPD, that have a hard time breathing in the summertime. This last summer it was extremely hot, and if they don't have air conditioning for a COPDer, they're gasping for air, and that air conditioner being right in that home will help them to, symptomatically will help relieve that shortness of breath. Other things that we have done pictures for a small child, the family. He was not healthy at birth, and we brought him onto hospice for end-of-life care. The family never had an opportunity to be able to take those family photos because life got in the way of that small child and his sickness. So we were able to provide, through foundation dollars, a photographer to come to the home and take pictures of baby Will and his brother and his mom and dad. And those will live forever in their memories and in their home. You know, I mean, how much more can that be? That is what hospice is all about, and that's what our foundation dollars do. We use them for those needful things. We have had patients that have no family, maybe don't have clothes, don't have enough money at the end of the month to get them food. We've done many times through foundation dollars, provided the last Thanksgiving meal, the last Christmas meal, the last anniversary meal. That we bought wood, we bought oil for families to keep them warm when all other resources have been exhausted. So this foundation, the dollars that come in mean so much.
Supporting Lights of Love does mean so much for those we serve, and we are especially grateful for the generous support of Guiding Light sponsor UPMC Altoona and UPMC Health Plan. We now welcome Tim Balconi from UPMC Altoona to share.
On behalf of UPMC Altoona and the UPMC Health Plan, I'd like to thank you for your support of the Home Nursing Foundation Lights of Love campaign. It's a pleasure to be a sponsor of such a wonderful organization that helps people at every stage of life be more comfortable, whether it's hospice or in the Healing Patch. Thank you again for all you do to make their work possible.
Bringing comfort and connection is the work of the Healing Patch Children's Grief Program. This peer support program is offered at no cost to local grieving children, and this is possible only through the community's support in donations, fundraisers, and grants. Although in-person groups have been temporarily suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic, alternative support is being offered to families. Amy is a mom who previously attended the Cambria Healing Patch with her son after an unexpected loss. We invite her to share how they found hope and healing.
His loss was his biological father. So that happened when he was about 3 years ago, when he was 10, almost 11. So as you can imagine, he's becoming a teenager. He's going through all these life changes, and then the traumatic loss happened, and he was confused, not understanding, anything about death. He's not had a loss prior to that. So so that his loss, even to this day, it impacts him, obviously. But at the time, having somewhere to go for him, it was like a huge difference for him. He needed to have some type of cushion or support to show there's a place for healing for him. It's also given us some tools for the grieving process. Per se, you never get rid of your grief. It doesn't get any easier. It doesn't go away. But I think over time you get stronger, and I think it was here that he learned some tools to learn how to process that. It also benefited me because I had lost my first son as he was 21 days old. So this happened in 2006. So I was really far along in my grief. I'm not going to say I was better or healed, but I also could relate to, and my son could also relate because he lost a brother that he never knew. So I had this experience of losing a child, yet he had an experience of losing a biological dad. So we were both here kind of grieving at different stages in our grief, but we also could relate to more people because there are people that are going to be in the room that lost children. There's going to be people that lost a parent or a sibling. We both were here for different reasons and not planning on being here. I was coming here for him originally, but it did help me in my healing. So there was all around, it was a great program for us, and we are glad to be a part of it.
We invited Amy and her son to illuminate our display at Sheraton Drive in Altoona. We are now kicking off Lights of Love with white lights representing family hospice and blue lights representing grief services. To make a donation to Lights of Love, visit homenursingagency.com and click the image for Lights of Love. Follow the links to enter a personal dedication for your loved one and place it on the interactive tree of your choice. While you are making your dedication, be sure to check out the Keep the Light On Holiday Bereavement Resources Guide. You can also make a donation by calling 1-855-GIVE-HNA. We wish you a holiday season of comfort and peace.